Welcome back to another episode of the What's New Mama podcast. We're your hosts, Giselle and Amy. Hello.
Hi.
Uh, this is like the second attempt that
I
we're
know.
trying to do this
This
episode.
always throws me off.
It throws me off too because we got into it and then now we have to completely start over.
Yeah.
So what we wanted to talk about is for today's topic is the controversial viral post about the girls' dresses from
hmm
Target that moms are like banning and asking for Target to take them down and all of that other stuff.
hmm
Um, on top of that, just overall like kid exposure online and how there's these mom accounts and these kid accounts that are run by these moms that are like, in other words, people are saying they're pimping out their kid. Like
hmm
they're basically exposing their kids and it's an open account, it's not private, and it's just open to the world. And us just going through that.
hmm
hmm Amy's tired.
I know, I
Um,
am.
uh, what, you stayed up watching your soap operas?
No, just tired. I don't know. I'm just tired. I've been just tired for like a while.
Yeah, gotcha. No, I understand. And the kids are home, right? Because the
Yeah, I mean,
break.
I think, yeah, this past week we had a break. We had spring break.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
so
I was with them all week. Yeah.
you're extra tired.
I mean, Sienna's not that bad to
No,
add to the mix. No, she's pretty okay. She'll do her own thing for a while, so she's pretty
hmm
much about lounging around all day.
relaxing.
Yeah, she doesn't want to even talk about school.
What does she do? Like,
She plays on Minecraft. She plays
okay,
on her iPad. I know it sounds
okay,
bad, but she plays on her iPad the whole day almost. Like she'll
okay.
watch like stuff and then she'll do her iPad. She'll play with her brother because she got her little brother to start playing this video game with her,
Oh, that's cool.
which is funny to hear
So,
them playing with
so,
each other.
so Milo knows how to get on there and use that and everything.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
He's young. He's gonna be 4
Mhm,
August, right? I always
yeah.
confuse their birthdays. One's August, one's
Oh
September.
no, he's September. He's
So,
September.
see,
He's
even you
September.
said
I
yeah.
know because I get him confused because he's 9/9. His September it's his month, and then her date is 8/9. So
Right.
I get
Yep.
them confused in my head for some reason. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know why. It's like anytime I'm at the doctor's office and they're like birth date, and I'm like, for which one? Because I can't get them straight in my head, and then I have to remember mine. I also have to remember Victor's and everybody else's. Like I have
Yeah,
all these numbers. I don't know. There's something
yeah.
wrong with me.
It's funny because last night when I was like in bed, well, I was trying to put Derek down in his bed first, and then I was gonna go into my bed.
hmm
Why is it that when we're in bed, the first, like, you think about random stuff, I'm like, where's his birth certificate? Like, where's my birth certificate? And I was like, because we move so much, like, we have it in a specific area,
hmm
right? But then we moved, and then I'm like, I haven't seen the birth certificate. I know where the passport is and the social
hmm
security card, but where's the birth certificate? So, like,
hmm
that kept me up. And then I started thinking about mine. I was like, no, I know where mine is. So anyway, I gotta go looking for his social security. I mean, see,
Birth certificate.
his birth certificate.
Yeah, we just got mine. Milo's back in the mail from the passport office.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because he had
so
to go do that.
we got it back in like a month.
Okay,
We got them already, so that's good. We're set.
that's good.
Yeah.
Are you excited? You're traveling with
No. No. I don't know when we say we're getting the passport, we're going on a cruise. We're not going anywhere where it requires me to get on an airplane with them. I'm not ready for enclosed spaces yet.
Okay, okay,
Like that. No.
fair enough.
No.
But it might not be that bad because they're on their devices and stuff. They're older, so
I don't know. I
I just
don't think
wouldn't do a
so.
long trip like from the East Coast to the West Coast. I wouldn't do that,
Like fly for more than 2 hours, I would say.
Yeah, no. I max from here to Florida.
hmm
I would say probably do that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
We're both yawning. We're both tired.
Yeah, no, I'm exhausted. I just keep hearing my neck cracking. It's like a popcorn in there.
Have you gone to
So
the
bad.
chiropractor?
Yeah, I went to the chiropractor this week. I had to go because I've been having a lot of vertigo and just
Oh.
dizziness and all that. So, because I've been having a lot of ear things. I don't know. It's just my ear. I hear whistling. I have
Hmm.
tinnitus. Um, and then I just started doing where I can't look up. Like right now, if I look up, I get dizzy
Yeah.
a lot. So they do a maneuver where I have to sit and like they throw you to one side and then pick you
Yeah.
up. It's called the Epley maneuver, I think is what he told me.
Interesting.
It's for, he says, just to, um, I guess whatever liquid I have in my ear or whatever, just to put it
Shifted.
back, shift it back into place where it needs to go.
Huh.
So, yeah, I don't know. He has me doing this exercise. I need Victor's help to do because I have to hang my head like lower than me off the bed or something. Yeah, so
Okay. Why don't you get one of those devices? You know, the ones that you can strap your
your
ankles
feet and
in
flip you
and
back
then
over. No, girl, I
flip.
will throw up.
Oh,
I
really?
can't do that. I can't do that.
Okay.
That
Okay.
sends me on a spiral, and it's like
Okay.
it's just I get completely off balance. No, I
Okay.
can't do that anymore.
Okay. Or what is it, a sinus infection?
No, it's I honestly think that I hurt myself pushing out the kids.
Really?
Yeah, I think so because it happened right after I gave birth to Sienna. I had like actually popped a vein that popped out in my forehead after I
Oh my
had
God.
her. That's how hard I was pushing.
Oh my
And
God.
then I think I shifted something in my ears because it was like a lot of I don't it's like cracking. It's just like
Okay.
something. I did something. I'm pushing. And
Okay.
after that, I just been off completely.
Kilter. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been off. So I've been trying to get like the proper treatment to kind of not, you know, keep doing that. Like
I've
feeling
never heard
sick.
of that.
Yeah.
I wonder if we looked that up, like how
Like
many women experience
pushing
that.
kids, I don't know. I have no idea, but I think that's what happened because there's no other explanation for it. I don't think unless it's perimenopause related, which everything is nowadays, so I don't know.
That's been taken like everybody's talking about it now.
Because
Like,
it's all over social media now and people are
yeah,
actually talking about it like, hey, nobody
yeah,
told me this is going to be happening to my body.
yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff like that's a symptom and then some other things and I'm just like this all sounds like me right now. So
Okay. So, well, I mean, you just reminded me of the post. I think I saw Holly Berry talking about her. Did you see that?
oh yeah, they gave the what
She
is it that
went,
she had
she
herpes or
went,
something.
she went to a gynecologist, her gynecologist after, because she had sex, and the morning after she woke up and it felt like she had like razor blades in her vagina.
Mhm.
And then when she went to the doctor, she called them. I don't know if she went. She called them and they were like, "Oh, you had the worst case of herpes that I've ever seen," or something like that. And
Mhm.
then it turns out it wasn't herpes because then her and her partner got tested and they were like, "No, you don't
Mhm.
have herpes,"
Mhm.
which is so crazy for a doctor to even say that to somebody without fully testing her out.
Mhm.
And then she found out that's a symptom of perimenopause,
Mhm.
which is crazy.
Yeah. There's so many things. I
Like
just
like our bodies are not new. This is what I don't understand. Women have been around for the
Yeah, but the
longest
thing is, I
time.
think most of the stuff that they've researched is based off of men.
Of course, yes, I understand. Well,
So it's
also
like,
to know it was a male doctor that she
yeah.
spoke to, which I've actually had, and I think I've discussed it before. I've had better experiences with male doctors than I have with women doctors.
Mhm.
Women doctors tend to be very dismissive,
Mhm.
but I don't know if that's because they were like I feel I almost hesitate to say it out loud, but when it was there was one female doctor that was like good.
Mhm.
She was Latina, and then
Mhm.
the other ones were white.
Mhm.
And the white ones, white female doctors were very, very dismissive and very like minimizing whatever pain I felt,
Mhm.
all of that. So like that was my experience with that. And then I went
Mhm.
to a male doctor and then never look back. And I've had good experiences. Like they
Yeah.
actually hear me out and understand me. So I've had the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about you, but no, I understand like the studies and all that stuff. It's done from the male
It's
perspective.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
it was all men, so it's like what very, I mean, not to diminish their existence, but
yeah,
what variations do they have in their body? I think the one hormone they have is what, testosterone.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
they have other hormones. It's
but
just
it's like us, we shift
they're
every what, every month. It's a
yeah,
different thing, right? They don't, I don't think they have that much change in their body going on.
no.
So yeah.
And if they do, it's abnormal. It's not,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I don't. Have you ever gone through like a doctor? Like, do you prefer one gender over the other?
I don't think so. I feel like I've had a mix of both. My primary doctor's only been female though, I think.
Okay.
Uh-huh. My GYN is male. He's only been
You know
male.
what? That just reminded me. You saw there's also, I don't have TikTok, but obviously whatever goes on in TikTok spills into IG,
Mhm.
like eventually, right? But people were talking about they were filming, women were filming themselves getting the IUD
Mhm.
and like getting it removed or getting it on. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen
And their
those.
reactions?
No.
And like their reactions were like torture, like they were being
Mhm.
tortured type of reactions. And I was that this just reminded me because I remember I had the IUD inserted and because I was like I can't do hormonal birth control. That was like making me depressed and like sending me through a spiral.
Mhm.
Like it was like severe, and I was on birth control, like hormonal birth control, the pill for a bit, and I was okay. But then I guess they switched the brand or something happened,
Mhm.
and it triggered like a crazy. I went through like suicidal ideation, like it was extreme. So I
Mhm.
got off it, went on the IUD, and then I started to take it out because apparently 0.5% of women that get the IUD, which if there's other women out there considering it, didn't know it, your hair falls out.
Mhm.
So my hair started falling out in clumps, like how it did postpartum,
Mhm.
which is weird because it's copper, like you're not supposed to have a hormonal reaction like this, but I guess because it's stopping your period for a prolonged
Yeah.
time,
Mhm.
it's kind of like when you're in postpartum, when you're not experiencing those hormonal shifts and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But anyway, I had to take it out, and it like getting it hurt, and but when she took it out, it also hurt, like
Mhm.
because it was a different doctor. So that doctor, this was in California, and I kept telling her like, "Is this normal?" Whatever. She was just so dismissive,
Mhm.
and I just remember thinking like, "Is this normal?" But she wouldn't like ease, like at least ease my
Mhm.
stress over it, like, and then you're bleeding, you're spotting, you're this, you're that, the cramping that you feel. And I was just so concerned. And I'm watching these clips and like the articles of these girls talking about and filming themselves. And like everybody's like, oh, they're overdoing it for like, you know, trying to get like likes or whatever and all this stuff. And
Mhm.
it's like, no, everybody has a different threshold of sensitivity and all that stuff. And also, you don't know, the doctor themselves could be very careless
Yeah.
and just be like, oh, here you go, pop, 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 whatever.
Mhm. Yeah.
I have no follow-up instruction, you
Mhm.
know? But anyway, that reminded me of that. That was another female doctor that I was like, never again. And
Yeah.
I went to her because she was recommended by somebody that I worked with, because I had just moved to California, so I didn't know anybody there.
Mhm.
And she was like, oh, she's great. She's this, she's that. But she's also, she was white, and so was a coworker.
Mhm.
And I clearly am not.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that had something to do with it, but yeah, I don't know. Never again. And I didn't look back. Switched over to a meal provider. But anyway, yeah. So that reminded me of that. I don't know how we got into this. Oh, the Holly Berry thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you talking about perimenopause.
Yeah, because I don't know, I'm all messed up now. But I'm taking it easy. I don't get too crazy with whatever symptoms I have. I just look it up and see what I can do. And it's funny because I went to the Cairo and I had already looked up if they could help me. and he sent me to do the maneuver that I saw online already. So I was like, all right, so I'm in
Okay.
the right area.
Okay. Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm all good. So I just want to do it before I go on this cruise because so
Oh
I get
yeah, that's gonna
motion
be worse.
sickness. I get motion sickness for anything now, something that I never had before.
And the swing of the
So
boat isn't gonna help
yeah,
either.
the last time we went, I got sick on the boat and I had ended up in the infirmary there. So
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
so yeah, no, I don't want to do that again. So I'm taking all preventive measures before I get on
What about an
completely.
ENT? Have you gone?
So I have to get a referral from my doctor, and that's what I'm trying to do,
Okay.
like get her to get me to go there so I can be able to do whatever
Okay.
testing. But I'm not looking forward to that because my mom did all this testing too because she has
Yeah.
vertigo now as an older woman, and she was like the testing is so bad it makes it worse. So I'm like, I don't know if I want
Oh
to.
really?
Well, because they have to test to see where it's like how and
What's
where,
causing it? What's
So
triggering
she's
it?
like, there's a test that they literally blow like cold air on you or something. And she's like, it makes you dizzy and you want to
Huh.
throw up the whole time. She was like, I was trying my hardest not to. And she's like, and they're talking to you to keep you distracted so you don't. And I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm good. I already fight hard enough with my body every day for me to
Yeah.
try to sit there and fight during like whatever, a
But
test or something.
what was the solution that they gave her? Like,
I
did they
think
put her on
she's taking,
medication?
yeah, they gave her a prescription for something. I don't remember.
Okay.
It was a while ago. And she's like, think about it before you go. I was like, don't scare me.
But it might be worth it because she's better now, right?
Yeah, she's better. She doesn't have that anymore. So I have to get myself together
Yeah.
before the summer.
Yeah, yeah, before your trip.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I usually get vertigo, but it's when I have a really bad sinus infection
Oh,
or
okay.
when I'm pregnant, which
Mm-hmm.
it's because you get stuffy and it usually causes a
Oh,
sinus infection of somehow. I usually
I
get
don't,
very
yeah, I'm like,
congested.
maybe you never know. You don't know. Like, I don't know if I have,
Yeah,
a sinus infection or something.
yeah,
Right? I don't know.
yeah.
I don't think so, but you never know. Maybe there's something
You
like
never
underlying that I don't know that I might have in my nasal
could be,
cavity or something.
could
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Like right now, my nose is running because it's spring transitioning into spring now. So,
Yeah.
and Tom was like, "Are your allergies bothering you?" I was like, "Actually, yeah." And I never
Mhm.
used to get seasonal allergies,
Mhm.
but now I do. I think
Mhm.
it's just after I turned 27,
Mhm.
like I feel like I got seasonal allergies.
Yeah, a
But I
whole
was
lot of
no
stuff
longer
that you're not
allergic to
even
cats.
aware of.
I wasn't allergic to cats anymore, but I got seasonal allergies.
uh,
So yeah, it was a trade-off. Um, but yeah, anyway, let's
let's get
go
back to
back.
what we were going to talk about.
Yes, yes. Okay. See, now I'm confusing it because I know that we spoke about it when we first started recording, but we had the glitch in the software. So the post, right? So we talk about the dresses. The Target had the little cutouts for the little girls. And moms were saying like, why does my little girl need cutouts on her hips and like all
Mhm.
that stuff? I I remember in the 90s, like you would wear tank tops and like oversized shirts and all this stuff, and you wear little dresses or whatever.
Mhm.
It was never really a conversation. The conversation was really more about don't sit on somebody's lap.
Mhm.
Uh, maybe put a jacket over, or don't let somebody touch you, or blah blah blah, or close your legs when you're sitting. Because
Mhm.
as a kid, you're running around, even if you have a dress on, like
Mhm.
you're running around and all that stuff, and it's like, mira, cierra la pierna, whatever. Those are the type of things that
Mhm.
I heard growing up. But you would still wear your dresses, you would still wear your spaghetti strap, shirts and tanks and all these other things. And I feel like we had crop tops. I feel like that
Yeah,
wasn't
I
a,
mean, yeah, that was a thing.
a thing, that
Mhm.
wasn't like an issue. Um, but I have a feeling that these cutouts and these, but this is also coming from somebody that doesn't have a little girl. Um, that these like cutouts and all these other things, the difference now is that we have social media. So you have these people that are posting their kids, and some of them have public profiles, and you're exposing your child with these certain cutouts for
Mhm.
people with the wrong intentions to look at.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what it comes down to because I don't know. I just like I'm really trying to think at like what we wore back in the 90s and like
Mhm.
80s, and yes, it was oversized, but you had your your cut. out
Yeah, I feel like
things.
the trends, it depends, right? Like the trends were different back
Yeah,
then from what there are now. But I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable putting Sienna in a dress that has cutouts on her hips. I
yeah.
mean,
I mean, I
I
wouldn't.
guess that's up to the parent, really, or the child, even if they don't feel comfortable either. You can't
Yeah,
force your kid to get dressed that way.
yeah,
So that's where I'm at with the dresses. I'm like, if they're cute, I mean, but if you want to dress them that way, that's fine. Like, I don't care. I'm not going to tell you, oh, why is your daughter wearing that? Because what's the point of pointing it out? I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know. I'm very much with like, you do what you want to do with your kids.
But do you feel like it's a valid call for them to like ban
I
Target and
mean,
tell Target
I
to
feel
not
like
sell these things?
it's like, it's like, it's really stupid to me sometimes because it's like, it's
Just don't buy
Target.
it.
Like, just don't
Like, just
fucking buy
don't
it.
buy
Like,
it.
yeah, like, shut
Yeah.
up. Just don't buy it. Stop being so, like, everything is fucking cancel them. Cancel them. That's it. They're selling
Yeah.
clothes that is not appropriate for kids. Like, so don't buy it. Don't wear them. Don't go in that section. Like, I don't know. What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
a little extreme sometimes. But to that, like what you just mentioned, like these people posting them online and stuff. I'm gonna have to tag him on this video because it was a video he made on TikTok. It's this gay man who he's always very vocal and like he's always fighting people. I love watching his videos because he's always got a good comeback, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He said that he was in line. I don't remember if it was Starbucks or something. He was in line somewhere and he said that he
Hmm.
was behind an old man. And this
Hmm.
old man was online scrolling, looking at, I don't know if it was videos on IG or whatever the case was. I think it was Instagram. And he was zooming in on
Ugh.
inappropriate parts of this fucking
Ugh.
kid. It's just random, like mommy blogger, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And he was like, excuse me. He told him, he was like, excuse me, what are you doing? Like
Ugh.
basically, what is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Like, and the guy was like, it's like a free country. I could do what I want or something. He said something. It was
Yeah.
like a whole exchange. I'm gonna have to
Like, oh,
put
I'm
that
on my
video. Like I'll
phone.
I'll put
Yeah.
it down so you guys could watch it. But it was like I was appalled. It was disgusting. So he decided that he was like, all right, well, I'm gonna test this out. He created an Instagram account where he just put photos of like Barbie stuff, pink stuff, like he pretended he was a little girl. He
Yeah.
said the amount of messages he got and he displayed
Ugh.
them. Some people were like, there was one that was like, can you send me a picture to show me how much of a good girl you are?
Oh,
It was like a man, and then there was another one
I
which
feel
threw
sick.
me off, which was like, oh, you're the same age as my daughter, and something he said, and I was like, ew, really?
Yeah.
And then so I think the next thing he said he was gonna do was I don't know if he was gonna like report these people. I don't know what he was doing, but I was following it, and I don't know if that was yesterday's video that I saw.
He's
I don't
on
know if
Instagram?
he's on TikTok. I don't know if he has an Instagram. I think I might have seen him on Instagram too, but I follow
Okay.
him on TikTok. But I'll put it down below so you can see because it was interesting. There's a lot of messed up people. And I'm just like, okay. That's why I keep my profile on
Private.
private because I do
Yeah.
post my
Me too.
kids on there. But I know everyone who has it,
And that's why
and
we
even
don't
then you don't even
for
know because it's just like
yeah,
whatever.
you don't. Well, before we get into that, but that's why we don't post our kids on
on
the public
Yeah, on the
page,
public
on
page.
the
Yeah.
podcast page because of things like that. But yeah, the statistic says that it's usually somebody you know.
Mhm.
uh, Somebody that's close to your kid or whatever,
Mhm.
it's usually somebody you know because they
Mhm.
have to be trusted enough
Yeah.
to be left with his kid.
Mhm.
Um, but it's a, like, and I know I said it in the previous attempt to record, like I I still hesitate. I would not let Derek run around without shorts on and without a shirt, right?
Mhm.
Unless it's like literally just us and like if we had a backyard, we'll
Mhm.
put him in a backyard, like type of environment. Because
Mhm.
even if we're in the beach or at the pool, you really don't know who's there, like a
Mhm.
public setting. You don't know
Mhm.
who's there, what
Mhm.
their intentions are. And if I had a girl, even more so, I would be
Mhm.
like cautious. But then there's that like I know I mentioned it before, where it's like, well, how much of it there the responsibility shouldn't fall on the kid is what I'm trying to get at. Like you shouldn't shame the kid into thinking like, oh no, siéntate con la pierna cerrada or no te siente aquí, whatever. Like close your legs, do this, whatever, whatever, or cover yourself up. That should never, unfortunately, that's what we've been conditioned to do and
Mm-hmm.
like tell little girls, specifically little girls, when boys are also the victims of these
Mm-hmm.
acts. Um, but it should fall on the adult. Like, it's not the kid's responsibility to not be sexualized. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
that's just
Because
crazy.
then their mind doesn't even go there. They're not even thinking about that
No,
stuff.
they're
So it's not
so
like,
innocent and like, so that's the part where it's like, well, what do you do as a parent? Like, you still have to educate your kid and you still have to talk to them and like tell them, don't sit on a grown man's lap, even if they're like a family friend or an uncle, whatever it is.
mm-hmm.
You just don't do that because you just don't know. Um, Cousin, whatever, whoever it might be. But then at the same time, like, you don't want your kid growing up with a complex or thinking that they are part of the problem
Mm-hmm.
because it's not their fault.
Yeah.
Um, and like we've seen, like even as grown adults too, like when they'll be like, oh, well, why was she wearing that if she didn't want blah, 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 the attention or this and that or whatever. We should be able to wear, and I'm not justifying, I'm not going to put, if I had a daughter, I'm not going to put my daughter in the cutout dresses. I'm just not going
Mm-hmm.
to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But we shouldn't say, oh, well, she shouldn't have been wearing a cutout dress. Like, she shouldn't have been wearing a crop top or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little kid,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So I think that's really the divide of where we are. Like,
Yeah.
there's no in between.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, how do you and Vic prepare for that? Like, have you had conversations with Sienna about it? Or if not, how do you plan on
I mean,
talking about these
I
things?
hate to tell you, but it's like she's 6 years old, and I'm always like, okay, like she's six, but you have to tell them, like, there's
Yeah.
not good people out there, and I'm very straightforward, and I think I learned that from my mom. I mean, I'm less vulgar than my mom was
Yeah.
growing up, but like even because she plays on her iPad a lot, and she's always like, oh, I want to play here. Why don't you let me chat with people? I was like, because people aren't always good. And she's like, well, it's only kids. I was like, no. I was like, anybody could tell you
That they're a
they're
kid.
a kid. I was like, there's a lot of adults out there. I was like, that don't have good intentions with little kids. I was like, and they say nasty things, and then they, it'll escalate from, wanting to be your friend to other things that are not appropriate, is what I tell her
Okay.
for, and she's like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, I'm not going to get mad at you. I was like, but I'm not going to unlock this thing for you because I have it
Feature,
locked.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, so until I think you're old enough to understand what's right and wrong, of what's
Yeah.
appropriate, I don't think you're ready for it. Like I told
Yeah.
her. And she was like, well, what age do you think? I was like, oh, you'll be in your teens when I let you talk to people. And she laughs. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's obviously whatever conversation I have with her at the time
Yeah.
later on. And I'll see if she's ready for it. But I don't think so. She's pretty good about not pushing it either.
Yeah.
But I'm always telling her, like not all people. There's bad people out there, and like we have a sex offender within 900 feet of us. She lives down the
Oh,
street.
it's a female?
She lives down the
That's
street.
even shock because the statistic is
Um,
it's usually men.
she's registered as a level 2, I believe.
What is that,
And
dude?
I don't remember. I was like doing all the reading, but I was like, I just need to see her. I need to know what she drives, where she lives, and what she looks
Her
like.
face.
And to
Yeah.
my surprise, she's like down the street. Like down, we walk past her house all the time when we're walking.
Does it show
So
like what she did when?
yeah, it tells you sexual abuse of a boy. It was a boy that she tried to groom, I believe. I've seen her in like CVS, or in like just places around here. Like I've
Did she
seen her.
introduce to you guys? Did she? Because aren't they
No,
supposed to do that?
no,
Or is
no.
that like something in
I
TV
don't
shows or
know, but it's
movies?
funny because I have the Citizen app, and the Citizen app told me that
The
she's like,
citizen have told you.
yes, that she's down the street. Like you have a sexual offender less than 800 feet away or 900, whatever it is. And it's funny
Oh,
because our school bus stop is right like down the street from her. And I don't think the school knows that bus stop is where she practically where she lives. And I'm like
So how do
thinking
you go about
to my,
reporting that?
so that's the thing. That's what I'm like, I don't know. So basically I showed her, like I showed, what I was trying to tell you
Sienna?
is that show Sienna, like this person did such bad thing to a little boy. And like,
Okay.
she lives right by us. Like, this is what I'm trying to let you understand, that everybody that you see is nice, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I've been trying to.
What does
mm.
she say?
She's just like, okay. I don't think she quite grasped it. That's why,
Right,
you know,
right.
because I mean, she's 6. Like, well,
And
she's
you
like, what do
also
you mean
don't
by
want to
bad thing? And
mess
I'm
up
just
their
like,
innocence. Yeah.
and like, I'll just be like, well, she hits kids or something, like, you know. um, but I think she gets the idea. And I was like, you know, like, don't have people. The only person that touches your private parts, you don't go with strangers anywhere, even if it's a teacher. Like, make sure you have other kids with you. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, not one on one. You're not going to the bathroom with nobody. You're not going to closets with people. You don't go into dark
Yeah.
rooms with people. And I was like, if anything happens, you need to tell mom, and don't be afraid to tell mom.
Yeah.
Is what I told her, because I was like, don't worry, I won't hit you. I'll beat the shit out of somebody else. And she laughs. And she laughs. She laughs. I'm like, I will see black for somebody else, not you. Don't worry about it. And I always tell her, it's not you. You're not the problem. Remember that. I was like, I'm here to
Yeah.
defend you. And
Yeah.
she laughs. She goes, okay, mom. So that's what I
So
make it
cute.
clear. Like, you know, I'm here to defend you. I'm not here to defend anybody else. I'll believe you
Yeah.
first, is what I always tell her.
Yeah.
Unless you're lying to me. I was like, unless you're lying to me. And she laughs.
I can picture her with her little smile.
She has like a little
Um,
nervous laugh. She's like, she
yeah.
sounds like Woody Woodpecker.
That's funny. I mean, this is off topic, but it reminds me of the picture you took with AJ.
Me trying
It
not to,
was
so it was
that nervous laugh that you had.
me
You could
trying
see it
not
in the
to show
picture.
all my teeth at the same time. Trying, I literally don't know when I took the picture.
Yeah, I remember you telling me you blanked out.
I don't know when I took the picture. I was like, just don't smile with all your teeth. It was what I was trying to do. And I still came out looking stupid, but
But you look
I
just like
was,
Sienna
it
in
was
that
so
picture.
funny. Yeah.
Um, but no, I mean, that's a good approach. And you
Mm-hmm.
had to have that conversation with her because of the person that lives there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
That's
didn't even know.
crazy.
I don't even know if so the house, there used to be an older gentleman that lived there. We were friends with him because we used to see him all the time. Unfortunately, I think he passed.
Okay.
And his daughter moved, and I remember meeting her because she used to walk up and down our street all the time.
Hmm.
And I think she doesn't live there anymore. She rented her house, and I'm wondering if she knew this,
She
or
probably
she
has
sold
to.
it to her. I'm not sure if she owns the house or not, but whatever. It's literally, it's like, if you look at the address with my address, it's like, you're like, how close is that? Because it's the
Yeah.
same, almost like, you know, the numbers or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty
But I feel
close.
like they have to disclose that information
I'm
if you're
sure.
renting
I'm
or if you're
sure.
buying.
I'm just surprised. I don't even know if anyone knows, like, really, like, any of the people
If
down.
this were a movie or like a show, and you would be the mom character, and you would be the one to print out the papers and post it around the neighborhood.
Oh,
Like,
I'm still waiting to see the parents from down the street. Like, oh, you know, our bus stop is where the sexual predator is, right? Like, hello.
I mean, if I were you, if you're close to them, I would tell them.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen the mom. I haven't seen the
Okay.
mom. I haven't seen that lady at all, actually. I've only seen her mom. I haven't even seen her mom, actually. Her mom's, because you know they're Dominican, right? Like her, she's
Oh, that's
the
the one you were
Dominican
telling me. Yeah,
lady.
yeah, yeah.
I actually introduced myself to her mom. Her mom is super nice.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you should tell the
Um,
mom. You know, the
I
mom
haven't
right
seen
away
her.
is gonna
Yeah, but like,
tell.
I haven't seen anybody. They don't pick up. This is why I stay there when the girls get off the bus.
Okay.
Because Sienna's always like, Mom, let's just keep walking. And I'm like, wait, I want to make sure they get to their door at least to see someone that they're.
Also, they don't pick up the kids.
I don't even know. Because they're like I told you, they live right there on the corner. So they just
Yeah.
watch from either the window or, and I'm thinking, and I
Gotcha.
always tell Victor, I'm like, if somebody decides to do a drive by and fucking grab these girls, like, am I supposed to put my body on the
Yeah.
line for
Yeah.
them? Because your ass is in the window watching.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this by any chance, if you come across my podcast or hearing this, come out and watch your fucking girls, man. Like,
Yeah.
I would put my body, like, I would, because as a parent, I wouldn't want that to happen.
It's an
Yes, but
instinct. Yeah.
I'm just like, am I gonna really put my body? I'm like, am I gonna fight
Like,
for
do I
these?
really have
Like,
to?
do I have to? I'm gonna
I'm gonna
have to
have
because
to.
you're fucking watching from the window and
Yeah.
not coming out. And like, how fast are you really gonna run, bro? Like, not that fast.
Especially if there's like snow
And it's
or
crazy because I wait
something.
there and I have pepper spray and my keys in my hand all the time because I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
either gonna gouge your eyes out or blind you for life. One- like one of the two. Because
Yeah.
you never know. Because it's a road, it's a main road, and people are coming off the highway down our
Yeah.
street. So I'm just like, you never know. I'm never
You
letting my
never know.
kids wait for the bus by themselves unless they're older, like maybe high school by then. And even then, I'll be
And
watching.
yeah, even then, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh,
Yeah.
there's so much to worry about.
Yeah.
There's so much. Ugh. Like I think about that too, because like Derek's not in a school or anything like that
Mm-hmm.
yet. So I think about that, like when he has to go to the bathroom or
Mm-hmm.
any of that stuff, like how to navigate those conversations, but also just hoping and trusting that whoever they have there is not going to be a degenerate. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just crazy.
And you even also got to watch out for other kids, unfortunately, because
That
some
too, yeah.
kids are also exposed to things that they're not supposed to. I had
Yeah.
like a little incident where I was like, oh, so and so showed me her privates on the bus. I was like, ew. And what did you do? I was
You
like,
said ew.
yeah, I told her, ew. I try to keep it as light because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
get mad, right? You can't
Right.
react to this. I was like, ew, really? I was like, that's gross. You don't want to see other
Gotcha.
people's privates. That's disgusting. That's private and it's yours. That's why it's private.
Yeah.
And she starts laughing. And I was like, what did you do? I was like, you better not have shown up because you're going to get in trouble if you do. Remember, you're not supposed to be showing people your private parts either, even though you're playing around with your friend. And she's like, no, mom, I just said ew. I was like, okay. But I think in the back of her head, she was like, oh shit. Like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have, whatever. She mooned her or whatever it was. Because then she told me that
Yeah.
she mooned her. These
Yeah.
fucking kids. And I'm like, yeah, but, nobody wants to see your private. And then I told her, I was like, the bus records everything and they'll see it. You'll get in trouble in school if someone finds out. Like, what if she tells her parents that you did something? And then she's
Yeah.
like, because I was like, people lie. And she goes, oh man, I didn't think about that, mom. And I'm like, yeah, I was
Oh.
like, people lie. And then and then they're going to look at the footage and they're going to be like, hey, whatever happened. And I was like, you're gonna get in
Yeah.
trouble. And I was like, and I don't want you to get in trouble and feel bad for something you didn't do. And she goes, okay, okay. And like she started, like I could see her cogs moving.
Yeah.
It never happened again. Whatever it was. And I told her not to sit with that girl. Because I was like,
Okay.
clearly there was something up with her.
That girl has some like siblings. Maybe she has like
But
cousins or
but then
siblings that
they're also at an age where they're
they're
exploring
curious.
themselves. Yes, and they're
Yeah,
just
that's
like,
normal.
let me see what you got. Like they're
Yeah.
very. I don't know. It's very that too. But you also gotta. I told her you gotta set your boundaries. You gotta tell people like,
Yeah.
no, I don't feel comfortable. Don't show me that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that too. Because it's
Yeah.
still learning,
And
and you can't be like, oh, automatically that person's getting sexually abused. Like you can't.
yeah, you can't. Because they could see something on TV, they could see something if they have a phone. Like
That's
kids,
what I'm saying.
they're
There's
younger
like
and
you don't
younger.
know what someone else's family is doing.
Yeah,
Everybody's trying their best out here, so I'm just like I don't immediately jump to conclusions.
right. You can't.
So
You can't.
I try.
But that's good that you made it like
I was like,
light.
ew. Like I always react that way because I'm like, because my mom was very reactive. Like this is
Yeah.
this trauma shit again.
You would
Come
be
in the back of your
scared.
head,
You would be
right?
scared to tell
My
her
mom
anything.
used to fucking be like, she used to spy on me. Like she used to be across the street. Like I would get to walk home from school because I used to be like blocks from my school.
Yeah.
But my motherfucking mother. She would be hiding behind it because she's short. She'd be
She'd
hiding
be hiding.
behind a mailbox on the
Oh
corner,
my
and I could picture it
God.
right now. I could tell you, I'm picturing it right now because there used to be a mailbox on the corner of 135th and Amsterdam, and she used to hide behind there, and she used to watch me to see what the fuck any boy or anything. You having sex with him? You doing this with him? And I'm just like, dude, relax. I'm walking.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
just happened to see them coming out at the same time. We're walking.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
walking to the train station because it was 130, 137 train
Yeah. Yeah.
station,
Yeah.
and I lived on 138. So everybody used to either walk down 135th or walk down 138
Yeah.
to get down. And it was like, really?
Yeah.
So my mom was very reactive all the time, and it was like, oh, you're doing this. Oh, I don't want that. I
Yeah.
don't want her to think back and go, wow, my mom was such a fucking psycho. You know, I think about that a lot. Like, I don't want her to be like, oh, my mom was such a psycho. Why would she do this? Why was she controlling me on that?
So then, all right. So then, when you look at that, like, how do you feel about wardrobe? What if all of a sudden Siena's like, I want to dress with crop tops, or I like that dress at Target with the cutouts.
Yeah, she can wear it. I'll find some other way. I put tank top underneath where she's covering those cutouts, right?
Yeah,
You got to work
yeah,
with it. Like, all right, you can
yeah.
wear it,
Or
but
put the leggings,
yeah.
and the leggings go all
So
the way up.
she used to like to wear dresses a lot. And like, I know the whole issue with dresses is like underwear. I used to either stick bike shorts underneath
Okay, yeah,
or leggings
yeah,
underneath
yeah.
all the time.
I always had leggings under
Hmm.
dresses.
In
Yeah,
the summer, bike shorts that would hit
bike
her
shorts.
like
Yeah,
right on the knee or whatever. And she'd be fine.
which bike shorts for me were a blessing because my thighs would rub when like eventually, like not as
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
kid, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and
So you got to
then
work with it. I mean, you can't fucking tell them no and then not really give them an explanation as to why.
yeah,
Because unfortunately, you got to watch out for other people, you know? So
yeah.
I mean, she has a crop top shirt that she wears, and then make sure her jeans are super high waisted. So it's not really a crop top if they're hitting
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
So
It's a full
it's a full
coverage
shirt.
going
Yeah,
on.
no.
Yeah.
So you try, you work with what you have. If she likes it,
Okay.
then I mean, whatever.
You also don't dress like you don't like crop tops. You don't like exposing
Yeah, that's also
yourself too.
another
So
thing
she
too. She
sees that
sees
from
what,
you.
yeah, exactly. And it's mostly
You
because of body image for me than anything
is
else.
it?
Yeah.
Do you wear anything like spaghetti straps? Like do you wear
Yeah,
tank tops?
I
You
do
do, right?
in the
Summer.
summer. And my mom
Okay.
says enseñando el esqueleto.
But so you see, all right, and then you put her in tank tops. You put her in strappy dresses, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have.
Okay.
I'm
But
trying to
you're
think, but
not
she's
like,
like
oh, let me put
super
it,
skinny. But I also make sure that it's well fitted because sometimes big dresses. She's very
they'll
skinny,
gape.
it
Yeah.
gape. I'll stick like a t-shirt underneath it or
Okay.
to wear a tank top. She's
Okay.
just got to be more aware. With Milo, I'm trying to think Milo. I mean, it's different because boys' clothes are so different. You're not
They
seeing
are.
boys in booty shorts or
No.
um tank tops, really. So it's like a different whole.
And if you do have the tank tops, they're fine. Like they're thicker, they're more
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
closed.
It's like it's a different beast having a boy,
Yeah.
unfortunately. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. But still, even then, I'm like, I don't want Derek running around without a shirt on. Even though
Mhm.
he is a little kid, but
Mhm.
I don't know. But I also have that trauma from being a child being molested. Like, I think about things that the average parent will probably
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
bat an eye,
But
you
even
know?
like, what was that? Where were we? I'm not gonna. I'm trying to think of the story. It's like, okay, so because I don't want to give away who it was.
Yeah.
But like at the pool, for example, let's say you changing your daughter at the pool. Do
Yeah.
you strip them all down in the pool? Just change them when they're little,
You're
little.
asking me, right?
Yeah, would you strip them all
Like
down?
little
Like, let's
as
say
in
they're
like
wearing a little
below three
dress, and
years
then you're
old.
gonna, yeah, like say under 3. Yeah, would you strip them all there naked just to put on their
I
like bathing suit
So
in
no,
front of
even with
everyone?
Derek,
Mm-hmm.
I would go because we have to put the swimmies on. We have to take off
Mm-hmm.
the regular
Mm-hmm.
diapers, put the swimmies on. I would go somewhere or have Tom cover or go to the car
Mm-hmm.
and go have private area.
Mm-hmm. So
I wouldn't just do it in front of everybody else because I feel like that teaches them like it's okay to be naked in public
mm-hmm.
or to be exposed in public.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want, I don't know. But then again, I also have my own
Mm-hmm.
thing that I'm
Yeah.
cautious of.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, what did you see somebody
So
do that? Like,
yeah,
how did that
so
come
this
up?
was a friend of mine, and I was just
Okay,
like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" Even me, I was like,
gotcha.
"Whoa, what are you doing?" I was like, "Because so the pool in my town is located in the middle of the park. Anybody could see. Anybody
Okay,
could be hiding in the fucking bushes. Like I'm like very
recording or
yeah
whatever. Yeah,
recording.
yeah.
There was there was this big thing in my town.
Mm,
Um, it was an older man, and he used to drive his RC car in the
okay,
park, and he doesn't
okay.
have any kids, like young kids, so he would drive his RC car in the park and like get the attention of the kids because they see little like cars
Yeah.
zooming by and whatever. And some mom felt uncomfortable, um and she voiced her concern on the Facebook group, basically,
Okay.
because I think she called the cops, if I recall correctly. This was a couple
You're
years
talking about
ago.
those remote control cars?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So I
Okay.
think she called the cops because she felt uncomfortable because she's like,
Okay.
why are you in the park with your remote control car
Yeah.
and getting the kids'
That's weird.
attention? Like, she thought it was very weird. It took her a little of a second because she was like, that's weird. So she called the cops. The cops are like, the way my town's set up, the park's here, the cops are right behind. Like, they're behind the
Okay.
basketball courts. So it's like
Yeah.
everything's right there. So they came to check it out and, whatever. They gave him a warning, I guess. But she posted about it because she
Okay.
felt that she needed to warn the rest of the
Other mom.
moms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the community.
Another mom jumps on. I hate this fucking lady, by the way, because she just like, she irks my fucking last nerve. Because she's always posting about something. She's always whatever. Anyway, I don't know what her
Okay.
situation is, but I really don't like her. um, but she jumped on and she's like, well, I know that guy. You got him arrested. How dare you? He's a
Well,
family friend. He watches my kids and all this. But the lady was like, well, he made me feel uncomfortable. And I don't
yeah.
care how much of a friend he is to you. You don't know everybody. Just because he's your
Right.
neighbor, that doesn't mean he's a good person. And
Right.
like, they went head to head
Oh my God. So the post,
for,
like they were just
it was
going.
like 400 comments on this, back and forth, back and forth. They were
Oh
dissing
my
each
God.
other. She was like, you don't know who I am, and I'm important. This is the person that I don't like. She was like, you don't know who I am, and I'm an important part of this town. And somebody
Community.
was like, go fuck yourself, basically. It was great. It was the best post I've ever read in my life. But I was just kept thinking to myself,
Post it in the link. No, kidding.
I think they took it down because it
You
got out of
can't. Yeah.
hand. They were like really
Okay.
going at each other. And I was just like, finally, somebody just says something to this woman. Because it was valid on both sides, because I guess she does know him. It's fine.
Yeah,
But
but
she
still, you
knows
really
him.
don't.
Then she was like, he's a sweet person. He has a wife. Someone was like, the worst predators have a family.
Yeah, it's the person you least expect. They have
So
kids of their own. They
a lot
have
of people were like,
girls of their.
she was fine to call the cops
Yeah.
because she felt uncomfortable and it wasn't a
Yeah.
situation she thought was ideal. Like, whatever. Like,
That's.
that's, she's just trying to let people know. But
I
I don't know.
completely
It
side with her.
got blown out of proportion. And I just kept thinking to myself, if I would have seen
We
that
should do
man,
a
I
poll.
probably would have done the same
We
thing.
should. We should do a poll,
Mm-hmm.
like, and put it to like our page. Be
Yeah.
like, what would you do? Would you report it or would you not report it? And be like, oh, it's harmless.
I don't know. I haven't seen, it's funny because I've never seen that dude do that. So I don't know. I don't know what the point of that
So you
was.
haven't
But
seen him do it after?
no, I just never seen him before. And like someone came on and was like, this is my husband. I felt bad because she went on. She was like, this was my husband. And he does this all the time. So apparently, I mean, he was probably harmless, but I don't know. I don't know the person, so I wouldn't have really stood up for him at all.
It's weird.
It
It's
is kind of
weird.
weird. Do it
It's
in your own
weird.
yard. I don't know if you're gonna drive
That's
your
what I'm
car.
saying. Like, why are you, where do you live that you're bringing that car over here to the
Mhm,
park or the
mhm,
pool area, whatever?
mhm,
Why not just do it in your own backyard
mhm. So
or with your neighbor's
I went on a
backyard?
tangent here. So that was a story that I was thinking of when I told my friend, like, maybe you shouldn't change her, like, out here. Like, she just
Okay.
stripped her, and I was like covering with I went around with like a towel, like
With the
I went
towel.
into like full beast mode with the towel, like covering. She's like, "What are you
Yeah,
doing?"
yeah,
I was like, "Yo, you don't know." I was like, "There's houses here, and there's like
yeah,
bushes here. You don't know." I was like, "There's a lot of weird people. There's randos sitting on like the park bench
yeah,
having lunch. You don't know if they're like pulling out their phone to take pictures or record." I'm like, "Nah." I was like, "You got to protect her a little bit." And I think
yeah,
that snapped something in her. She's like, "You know, I didn't even think of
yeah,
that."
yeah. Because especially as a new mom, like
Mhm.
you don't
Mhm.
think about these
Mhm.
type of things.
Yeah.
Like I've
Yeah.
seen clips of people out with their kid,
Mhm.
and like I saw, I think I sent it to you. There was a woman, a husband and wife. They were at Costco,
Mhm.
and they were recording this little girl that was with her mom.
Mhm.
Did you see that? I think it was in
Yeah,
California.
I don't remember if you
And
just said
like
to me.
she was the mom said the stranger, not
Mhm.
the mom of the little girl, the stranger couple. She was an older woman with an older guy, and
Mhm.
she commented on I think the girl's chest area or something
Mhm.
like that. And
Mhm.
he was recording
Mhm.
the little girl.
Mhm.
And like in the comments, you see like parents like, oh, they would not be alive right now. Like
Mhm.
that, because the mom was very calm. about like, why are you recording my child? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know you, delete that, blah, 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 blah. And like, they were kind of defending and like, oh, it's harmless. It's harmless.
Mhm. Harmless
Why
for
are
what? What are
you
you gonna do with the
recording?
recording later? Yeah.
Yeah, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't
And I
know.
think
There's just so much.
that's what makes it different from how we grew up too, because now we have people with cameras on their cell phone.
Yeah, you would see a
It's like,
camcorder. Like, you would see a huge camcorder if somebody was
yeah, it's
recording
like,
somebody.
what was I to? Oh, there was another video that I saw. It was like a girl. She was, I don't know if she was at a bank or something, and there was a man waiting next to her to be like seen. I don't know where she was. It looked like a bank. And he's sitting there like recording her, and it's like with his phone like this. And it's kind of obvious because anytime she moved,
Yeah,
you see him do like some movement. He's like this with his phone facing her, like the camera
yeah,
facing
yeah,
right at her.
yeah.
And she's like, "You're recording me." He's like, "No, I'm not." You're just like, "Let me see. You're recording me." And she like started like, I guess, yelling, but I don't know what happened at the end of that video. I
Was
don't
it the girl
remember.
with her friend?
I don't
She was with
remember.
her friend.
I don't know.
There's so many of these
It
videos.
was
This is what
like,
I'm talking about. Like, you just don't. I saw another one that she was at the airport and this
mhm,
guy was recording,
mhm,
and he was like some married guy or whatever.
mhm,
Like, that's the thing. Like, you just, it's never somebody that looks like a creep, right? Like,
mhm,
it's somebody that looks regular, whatever. And she was like, "You're recording me. Stop
mhm,
recording me." And her friend was there with her.
mhm,
And she was like, "Let me see your phone." And
mhm,
he was like, "No, look." Like, he got out of whatever the screen was.
mhm.
And she was like, "Go into your thing." Like, as she was approaching him, he deleted it. But you know that on iPhones, and I don't know
It
about
stays in
Androids, but
the
it
folder.
stays in there
Mhm,
and you can retrieve it
mhm,
unless you delete it from the deleted folder.
mhm,
And she went in there and she saw it. And she's like, "No, like, delete it from the deleted folder." And
mhm,
he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, blah, 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 whatever, whatever." And he had some like gear for university. I don't know if he was a coach or
mhm,
something like that, but I remember that clip online and
mhm.
I was just like, and everybody was like, "Find out this where this man
See,
works, find
that's
out
the only good thing about having social media.
the
Take a picture
internet."
of the person clearly,
Yeah.
post it everywhere you can, get that
Somebody has
person.
to
Someone's
identify
gonna
it. Yeah.
fucking take care of
Yeah.
this. Yeah, that's
Like,
the only thing.
what are you
Yeah.
doing? And listen, like, I know, and then there's other people that are like, they don't mind being recorded and
Mhm.
all this other stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the people that you make, there are people that make other people feel uncomfortable. And if
Mhm.
somebody is telling you, like, "I don't like this, I don't want to be recorded," you don't have their consent,
Mhm.
you should abide by that and delete it and apologize and whatever it is. Because technically, we have the freedom to record whoever we want.
Mhm.
I mean, I know each state has their own like law against it, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
Where did civility go?
I don't know.
Where did common like etiquette, like, where did that go? And Tom and I were just talking about that the other day. Every time we go out to like
Mhm.
run an errand, like to Target, supermarket, Costco, well, what happened to civilization? People don't know how to act normal in front of other people anymore. Like, there's just no common courtesy, there's no etiquette.
Mhm.
Like, people are just standing in the middle of the aisles. And this is beyond like recording people, but I think that that trickles into it because people are so open about it now.
Mhm.
Like, they're like, "Yeah, I'm recording you." And like, you see it in disputes. Like, people automatically take out their phones and then they record. I understand in a self-defense
Mhm.
type of way because you want to get things on record,
Mhm.
but to like just record somebody for your
Yeah.
own like pleasure, entertainment,
Mhm.
like, go look at somebody else's, I don't know, what is it called? OnlyFans? I don't know, subscribe to somebody's something,
Yeah, go to
you
something with
know?
yourself. There's people who will
Go
freely give you their image, right?
right, exactly, you know? But
That's
then
crazy.
obviously, and then we go down the whole what we were talking about before with the kids. It's like, kids are for the most part innocent, right? Where they are naturally innocent. And I think that we project our own fears onto them,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
having to navigate these conversations with them, well, why can't I wear this? Or why can't I sit like this? Why can't I do this?
Mhm.
Navigating those conversations are the
Yeah, the
hard part.
sitting thing was hard for me because they don't care, especially with Sienna. Like, she
Yeah.
doesn't care. She just sits.
Yeah,
So
they're
you know
over
what?
here
You want to
sitting
sit
like,
like that? Fine. You're gonna have
whatever.
to wear pants everywhere you go. If you want to sit like that,
which
fine.
yeah, which she doesn't mind because she
Yeah.
likes leggings and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But even boys, right?
Mhm.
Like you have to make sure that they're not, and this is for lack of a better way, or like you want to make sure they're not sending out the wrong. And this is terrible. Like you know what I'm trying to say
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I you don't want it to be
yeah.
um at the end of the day there's people that are creeps and that want to get the opportunity. You
Mhm.
don't want to present anyone with an opportunity or a
Yeah.
chance is what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
And it's just it's difficult to
Yeah.
navigate that. Like I'm super like no, like I don't want anybody changing his diaper. I don't want
Mhm.
anybody like I don't care who you are. Like
Mhm.
aunt, uncle, like no, we
Yeah, but
don't.
that's because of what you went through. Yeah,
Yeah.
mostly too.
So,
Yeah. I get that because my
and
mom is like that. My mom goes like she's even very she's also very weird about like just even Victor sometimes being with the kids, and I'm just like it's fine. That's their dad, but I know that's because of whatever
yeah,
when she went through,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. Unfortunately, with even with her own parents, so
Right, right.
I'm just like but like I'm just like
Yeah.
that's her dad. Like I get it, but even dads have been fucking weird
Yeah.
too. But whatever, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just so out in the open now. I feel people and
I
their deviances.
yeah, well that's the thing. There's no shame anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea that they're trying to pass like to legalize, not legalize, but they're trying to make it a normal, quote unquote normal um sexual orientation.
Yes, yes, yes. I've heard about this. Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no. Like, I understand maybe decades and back in the day when you had your
Child
child
bride.
bride and you're over here in your fucking 30s and 40s, like, that shit was still sick and disturbing back then, but that was what they
Mm-hmm.
did.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're trying to bring it and say, well, that's just the sexual orientation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the preference is. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Yeah.
Like, there's something wrong in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel, Tom and I talk about this all the time. There's just people that they have a dysfunction. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's something wrong. And those are the people that, they need to be, what is it, the chemically castrated, like,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is. Like you need to be given something,
Mm-hmm.
uh, to quell that urge because
Mm-hmm.
that's not okay. And I
Yeah.
feel, and then it goes into, well, you're, you're gonna go ahead, like this person has rights and da da da, and which I
Mm-hmm.
get, but you can't be among society
Mm-hmm.
and you can't be roaming freely
Mm-hmm.
with kids and all these other people because you're a hazard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's so much more than it's not the clothes is what I'm trying to get at. It's not the clothes with the cutouts. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
people. It's
Mm-hmm.
people. And then the same can be said for all these other debates of people that say, oh, we should get rid of this, we should ban this, we should have stricter laws and blah blah blah. It's people.
Mm-hmm.
There's something wrong in their brain. And we as parents just need to one have these conversations with our kids
Yeah.
openly,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you there are books and stuff to help along the way and all that stuff. Have you ever used any books like
No.
to talk about them?
No, I don't think so. No.
Um, there's also, Dr. Becky,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Becky, the she's she's a clinical psychologist
Mm-hmm.
for like children. But she's had different conversations about these type of things and how to like address it. Um, because the child's brain isn't going to understand pedophilia. They're not going
Yeah.
to understand these terms, so you have to
Mm-hmm.
talk to them about it in a way that they would understand.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think one, like what you did was keep it very light
Mm-hmm.
and relatable and all that stuff, but then also let them know like it's okay if you do see something or engage in something, it's
Mm-hmm.
okay to come to me and talk to me about it
Mm-hmm.
and not have them be scared of you
Yeah.
or like I'm gonna get in trouble,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because you can't control the outside factors, but you can control your kid's comfort level with you and
Mm-hmm.
knowing that I can always come home, I can always tell my mom, my dad
Yeah.
what happened
Yeah.
because Like that was I didn't tell anybody because I was
Mhm.
scared,
Mhm.
you know? Because I grew up like, oh my God, was it my fault? Should I not
Mhm.
have trusted
Mhm.
my uncle? Like, should I not have trusted him?
Mhm.
Was that on me? And like those are the type of things that like I think about and I'm like, when the time comes, I'm gonna have to have these conversations with,
Yeah.
you know. But it's just you don't know. You never know.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, so yeah, I'm not there yet. Too young. The kids are too young. The Derek's too young, and
Yeah, especially since and he doesn't really like be able to vocalize anything yet.
yeah,
So you got to be
yeah,
that extra set of eyes for him.
yeah. Do you have conversations like that? Like, does Milo know like his body parts and stuff?
Yeah, he does. He does know his body
Yeah.
parts. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
he's now
He's
rebelling against the potty training, but
don't get me started on him.
but you
Do
talk
not
to
get
him
me
about
started
these
on
things, right?
him.
Because
Yeah.
he's around other kids.
Yeah. And then he's going to preschool. So
Yeah, you
yeah.
gotta prep him.
Mhm. There I told
Well,
him he has to go to the potty. Nobody's gonna help him go to the potty. Because he's like, oh no, you're gonna be there. I was like, no, I'm not gonna be there.
you're
He's like, you
coming with
coming
me,
with me?
mommy.
Yeah. I was like, no, boy, this is gonna be a problem. I see it already. He's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be one of those kids that I'm gonna have to be going
Well,
to
what's the
check on
school's
him.
protocol? Like, what it,
They
because I'm sure
there, so they let them cry. They comfort him as much as they can. But if it gets to a point where he's disrupting the class too much and the teacher has to like really like set him apart, they call me
yeah.
to come
Okay.
sit with them, and I think I get to stay in the class. But if it's like
Okay.
something where it just doesn't work out, like he could come home with me and then we'll try again. But
Okay.
otherwise, at some point they'll be like, okay, this isn't working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
They're actually pretty good there. So hopefully it's fine. He'll be fine because there's a lot of stuff they do there. So I think he'll like it. He just has to get used to it. It's
Yeah.
just a
And he'll
couple
see the other
hours. It's not
kids
even a
doing it
full
too.
day. It's like half a day. And,
Okay.
it's like right behind my house. So I'm just like, I'm right there. Like it doesn't, I tell
Yeah.
him, I'm right there. I just come and get you at the end. So you should
Yeah.
be okay.
Um, okay. Are you ever gonna, have you ever considered starting like a page for Milo and Sienna? Like an
No,
Instagram page? Do they ask
no.
you
They wanted to do like she wants to do like
the
a gaming
unboxing?
on
Oh,
gaming
okay.
things where she's playing. And
Okay.
I'm like, if you want to do that, I'll show the back of your head.
Okay.
And she's like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, you will never show your face. It was like, you're too little. You don't know. I was like, people, and I keep telling her, I'm like, there's so many strange people out there. They just watch these videos of little kids. I was like, it's not only just little kids watching. It's not because she thinks it's like, how her and her
It's
brother
just
watch
kids.
them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's not, anybody can see this. And she's just like, she thinks about it. She goes, nah, I changed my mind. Because then she's like, she gets nervous when she sees a camera in front of her. She's like me. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
deer in the
So
headlights.
yeah.
So she's like, no, never mind. I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, okay. Because I
Okay.
told her, I'll set you up. I have a camera, but I'll put it behind you so they can watch your screen, but it'll be the
Okay.
back of your head and your voice. And that's it.
Okay.
And I was like, and if you do that, I'm going to be in the room the whole time.
Yeah.
And
And
she's like,
even then, it's
no.
like, ugh. Well, what are you gonna do? Well, this because I don't know if we brought it up this one or in the recording that failed, but that account was it Jaylene, the
Mm-hmm.
mom that has like that little girl, the Instagram page
Mm-hmm.
that has like and TikTok page that has like 47
Mm-hmm.
100,000 whatever followers, and like all her videos of her in like her swimsuit and like
Mm-hmm.
doing other things, gymnastics and whatever, um, have saved by like
Uh-huh.
thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's something that you would think is harmless, right? Like, but there's just other people. They'll
Mm-hmm.
they'll
Maybe the
they'll
mom
find a
doesn't care.
way.
Has she said anything about it? Like,
I don't
did
think
she address
so.
it? She probably doesn't care.
I know
I
another
mean,
mom
I don't
called
know.
her out, like
Mm-hmm.
another whatever, because they were like, "What is this? Like, do you not see that these videos are being saved?"
Mm-hmm.
Which is another reason. Once you put something out there, It's out there. Like,
Yeah, it
if
is.
especially if it's a public page, there's
Mhm.
no controlling who can save it, who can screen record,
Mhm.
screenshot it. Like,
Yeah.
it's out there. And there's little girls, what, like 4, 6, or something like
Mhm.
that. And then think about it. She becomes a teenager, 20 something. She's gonna have this footprint, like this, what is it? Digital footprint of like all these
Millions
pictures of
of thousands
herself.
of
Yeah.
videos and stuff. Yeah. Mm.
I
That's
don't
the
know.
parent. I mean, like, what can you do? You can only call it out as much as you can. But if she doesn't care,
Well, she's making
or she
money off of
does,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
then
She's monetizing off the account,
yeah, that's a hard
which
one.
is, I mean, it's not a hard one for you. For me, we know what we would do,
Exactly.
but
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you could call her out as much as you want, but it's like at the end of the day, she's doing it. I'm just doing it. Whatever. Like, you can't do
yeah,
anything unless it's like what a ban on her videos and they just completely, turn
yeah.
off her account. But it's
I
not
wonder
much.
if eventually the law is going to catch up with that type of stuff because there's
Well, you
nothing,
saw what
right?
was it? It was it in Florida? It's always Florida. DeSantis that signed. I think it's like they're
Yep.
getting rid of anybody who has under 13 who has an
Yeah.
Instagram account or some shit like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like a hefty fine,
See that
isn't
I
it? Like,
don't see that as being a problem. Like that's fine. I was surprised when it said DeSantis. I was like, what? My
that
man did
didn't surprise
something.
me.
I was like, my man did something actually
That didn't.
good. I knew
But see,
those. It's
I'm
so funny.
surprised because it's it's restricting people's rights, and Florida's all about like you do what you want to do and my rights and yada yada yada, whatever,
If
whatever.
you're a citizen of the United States. But if
Yes,
you're
you know
not, get
whatever.
the hell
Yeah,
out of there, please. If you are there, get the hell
exactly.
out of
Yes, yes.
there.
But no, I was surprised
Mm-hmm.
from that aspect.
Yeah, it was
But
the first.
I don't think that did that pass. I don't think that's gonna
I don't
pass.
know. Well, I don't know, but I thought that was a good starting point at least. But I'm like, all these apps that the kids just could put a random later age on it. Like, how else will they track that? You know, to sign up.
I guess so, right?
Like, I don't know. Like they could just
I
put
don't
their
know.
birth date with a later date, later like
It's true.
or like an earlier year or whatever,
Yeah.
and just sign up, right? I mean, I've done it when we first when that stuff started coming out, like in the year 2019 whatever. I signed up for stuff, and I
Yeah.
lied.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know how that's gonna work, but I mean, maybe it's just like laws against parents, like having these accounts and monetizing
I
off
don't
their
know.
kids.
I don't know.
There has to be something because I feel like they've gone away with it for so long because
Mhm.
it's such a new thing, and these poor kids are like they have no idea. They have no
Mhm.
idea the kind of exposure that they're putting. They can't fully consent to this
Mhm.
when they don't understand the extremities of it,
Yeah.
like the full scope of it. Because that's the justification. Oh, my daughter loves or my son loves when I post videos of him. He says it's fine.
Mhm.
Your son is 6, 5, 7, whatever. They don't understand the capacity that is out there.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a valid. That's like no. I'm not even gonna say that because that's like a very extreme comparison. But that's like asking somebody that's drunk or something, hey, can I have you know consent for something?
Mhm.
And they're like, oh yeah, or whatever. They're not really saying no. And then it's like, well, you can't really accept that
Mhm.
as like valid because they're intoxicated, they're
Yeah.
incapacitated, whatever.
So they don't
The
have like
kid's
the kids
brain,
don't have the mental capacity to
no,
say.
their brains are not fully developed to the point where they understand the severity of things.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Anyway, it's a scary world out there. Don't have kids, people. don't don't have kids. There's too much. Um, no, just be a good, decent human being. And if you see something, just, like maybe, report it or talk to the person, approach the person, tell them you're uncomfortable, you didn't like this, whatever. And if that doesn't work, do what that lady did, call the cops on that guy. I don't know. I don't know. It's a scary
Yeah.
place out there. But there are good people,
Mhm.
obviously. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have, I'm not there yet, but it's something that crosses my mind often,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Yeah.
Um, what's Vic's take on it?
On what, the whole, the
Like posting the
dressing or the
kids,
posting the kids? Nah,
the
he's
dressing and posting
he's
the
with
kids.
me. Like he doesn't have social media, so he's like, I'm not.
Okay.
He I post them. He knows that I post pictures of them like on my private page, but
Yeah.
he likes the idea that we're not posting anything on
Yeah.
the podcast
Public
page.
on the podcast page. Yeah.
So he's fine with that. But then like the dressing, he's always, since I'm the one who buys the clothes, like I'm the one who picks
Yeah.
out the stuff. I always like show him like, hey, look, what do you think? He's always he tries to be as protective as he can as well too. So
Yeah.
that's
You're
just
not
how
a
he
show
is.
mom that's like over here prepping for a bikini pageant or swimsuit
No,
pageant,
no. Even with her
prepping
like
Sienna for
bathing suits,
that.
I try like I always buy her like rash guards, mostly because it's just protecting her skin.
Yeah.
So I try to
Yeah.
keep her in like longer
Yeah.
sleeves and stuff, even if it's a
Yeah.
little warm. Oh, I know
That's
she's
another
always
thing.
complaining.
Is she?
Yeah.
I don't do, you know how boys, like, you could just do the trunk shorts?
Mhm.
Like, I get Derek the rash guard thing.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, oh, I'll protect him against the sun because that's SPF 50 and all stuff. But then a
Mhm.
part of me was like, I don't want him being topless out.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Not weird. It's just,
I don't think I've ever let Milo out topless either. Now that I think about it, I think it's always been with a rash guard. Yeah. Mhm.
or like some sort of tank or something.
Yeah. And not even like a t-shirt or something. Yeah, I don't even
Yeah.
have tank tops for him. I don't think it's. I think it makes him look like an old man.
Okay. Well, any other, I guess, words of advice or
I think it's
thoughts
just
on the
mostly
topic?
like you do what you think is necessary to protect your child in the way that fits your family. You can't like, and then if you see something that you don't like, I mean, like you said, approach it, approach someone. But
Yeah.
you know, my whole philosophy is you can't change other people and what they do.
Yeah.
It's just like you only do what you can in your own house.
Yeah. And so the key is to what? Have open communication with your kids and make them
Explain
feel
it to them,
comfortable
yeah,
coming
and
to you.
explain it to them as best you can for their age, because not everything is age appropriate for them.
Yeah. And don't have an explosive reaction either when
Oh
they come to
yeah,
you
because
with
I was
something.
just you try to
That's a big one.
yeah, because that
Because
that
then they'll never come to you again
yeah
with anything.
that affects how they talk to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh, so much. Uh,
hmm
but yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, because I'm not there yet, so I obviously have to prep myself for these type of things. Um, that just reminded me. There's a movie I saw a clip last night. I never
hmm
heard of this movie before. It's with Jessica Chastain,
hmm
the redhead.
hmm
Um, I think it's called Memories,
hmm
and the little clip was her, her sister, her mom, and I think her dad. I don't know what happened. I don't know the scene like
hmm
where how it played out, but she was crying and she was sitting on the chair and she was talking to her mom said something to her and she was like, "Yeah, but like I tried to tell you that her in the movie the dad raped her multiple times as a kid."
hmm
And she was like, and then the mom got up and she was like, you've always lied ever since you had a chance to talk or whatever it was, like instantly, like this. She's like a
hmm
grown adult now talking to her about what happened.
hmm
And then the sister, which I don't know what the deal was with the sister, but the sister came and she was like, yeah, like I remember like dad taking her and they would go watch movies and they would lock the door
hmm
in her room or whatever. And the the mom was like, "Oh, like so you saw them watch movies together?" Like she was
hmm
like completely like
Yeah.
didn't
Clueless.
acknowledge. No, I honestly
Or
think
denial.
in denial.
hmm
Yeah, like don't you dare say that. Like
hmm
that never happened that way or whatever. It was just your perception. And then the mom was like, "Why didn't you say anything to me then?" And then she goes, "Well, this is the sister as the Jessica Chastain's character is crying." The sister's like, "Well, I just thought that dad loved her more than me
Mhm.
and wanted to watch movies with her and not with me, or
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
And that's the thing, like that's how a kid's brain works.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're not gonna think something horrible is going on there,
Yeah.
you know? And then Jessica Chastain's character said something, and then her sister replied with, "But remember, I did try to tell you once what I saw to the
Mhm.
mom." She was talking to the mom,
Mhm.
and you slapped me.
Mhm.
And she never said anything again.
Mhm.
And so, and then the father, I think what is the father figure walked out like, "Oh, stop it right now. Get out of here." Like, and he like walked away from like the frame.
Mhm.
But the mom was like in denial and was just like, "No, like
Yeah.
this isn't real." I have to see that movie because
Mhm.
I literally just saw that last night and I was
Yeah.
like, I have to look up the name. So it's called Memories
Okay.
with Jessica Chastain. I forget the other girl's name, but it was one of those moments that I was like, "Whoa!" Like
Yeah.
you don't know who's going through whatever and what each household
Mhm.
dynamic is like.
Mhm.
Um, because we see horrible stories like that all the time, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
how did the other parent not know, or how did
Mhm.
this happen under care of the other, like the husband didn't say anything, the mom didn't say anything. It's like, how much do you not see when you live together? I
Mhm.
don't think that's possible,
Yeah.
you know. But anyway, there's another story too that I saw. It was like this Mormon mom. I forget. Do you know what I'm talking about? She was just convicted.
Oh, the
She's
Ruby,
divorced.
Ruby, Ruby.
Ruby, yes.
Mhm.
You see that?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen
Oh
that.
my God, that broke my heart. The clip of her son going to the neighbor's
Yeah,
house.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
remember
oh my
that.
God, no, I can't talk about it because I'm gonna start crying. Like, I was just like, oh my God,
Yes.
how?
That's why it's like it's so. People were, I don't know. Some people were surprised, but I'm like, you never know. People just portray stuff on social media most of the
Yeah, wasn't
time.
she like a mommy, like
Mommy blogger,
blogger,
yeah.
whatever?
Mhm.
And then the therapist, didn't she end up being in a relationship with the therapist,
Yeah,
the other
yeah,
woman?
yeah.
And that they were both doing it? Like,
People are just out there damn mind.
that's the thing. Like, whatever you see online, like, it's not always what it appears to be either, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I didn't want to end it in such a dark note, but I don't know. I definitely want to see that movie Memories,
Mhm.
and see what that's about. But yeah, I just discovered that Ruby lady like last week, and I was like, what? I've
Yeah.
never heard of this.
Mhm.
Kind of like swept under the rug.
Yeah.
What? Anyway, thank you guys for listening and for watching, and bearing with us with the technical issues.
Yeah.
And yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Yes, and remember that you're doing a great job.
Yes, thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye. See you next episode.